Hey guys, so a lot of stuff to talk about in the next few days. I'm going to be doing videos on quite a few different topics with Comic-Con going on this week. We've got a lot of new footage coming out of Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Game of Thrones Season 6 predictions, as well as Superman v Batman, the trailer just released. So this is going to be my Superman v Batman trailer review and breakdown, and it kind of confirms some things that I had spoke about in an earlier video I did on the teaser that got released earlier this year. And so I'll put the link in the description below for that as well. And that was more or less on how I don't think Batman would stand a chance against Superman, but it looks like they found some kryptonite. So we all had our laughs about Man of Steel because in the last part of Man of Steel, if you remember, Superman and Zod, the fight between those two, essentially destroyed the entire fucking city of Metropolis. A lot of videos made fun of that as well on how they should have ended. Although I thought it was a great movie and a great Superman origin story, and I was glad to see a little bit of Krypton, and they did this one with flashbacks where he was already an adult trying to figure out his identity. So I really liked how they did Man of Steel, but this movie actually is going to tie into it and do it pretty good from what I see from this trailer. They're blaming Superman for the destruction of Metropolis, which they should, because they destroyed the city, and he could have just taken his thing and flew it up to the well, never mind. We won't get into how it should have ended. That's a different channel. So anyway, it looks like to me that according to the trailer that Bruce Wayne had Wayne Enterprises, I believe it was Wayne Financial, in the district that they were fighting in, and his building got destroyed, and it looks to me like somebody of significance to Batman died during that fight scene. Looks like he was on the phone and telling somebody to get out of the building, something's going down, and then the building came down as Zod and Superman fought inside and used their laser vision and essentially cut it in half. And with the trailer also, I'm guessing that's going to be Robin. So for you DC fanboys, this is not going to be necessarily good, although it does follow a line of DC Comics where Robin is dead. Depending on which storyline they go with, there are multiple Robins in the DC world, so I'm not sure if it's going to be Dick Grayson that's dead or a different Robin, we'll see. But it looks like that's where Batman comes in. He's seeing that Superman's all powerful, essentially a god on Earth, and he's going to kind of go after him because they're essentially scared of that power. They saw what he did to the city, and he's also probably got a little bit of vengeance in there as well because his buddy Robin died. They do show a Robin suit with spray paint on it that I'm assuming Lex Luthor did. So it looks like to me that Lex Luthor is going to be the antagonist in this. And so this starts off where it looks like Superman's going to some kind of congressional hearing about his illegal status. So of course they threw some politics in here, flying down to go into the Capitol building, and everybody's out there with illegal alien signs as if this is the real world and we have a real superhero that could potentially destroy us flying in and taking refuge in the United States. He lives in a big ice castle somewhere in the Arctic. So leave the fucking politics out of our movies, people. I mean, this is the one thing we can all agree on, these fantasy movies we like to go check out, and you got to put this political bullshit in there and make your little statements. Anyway, so it looks like that the main antagonist here again is Lex Luthor, and he's kind of driving a wedge between the congressional leaders and the leaders of the United States, between them and Superman, as some people see him as this godlike figure, and of course Batman as well. I'm assuming Lex Luthor is aware of Batman and what happened. He's going to be the main antagonist and try to drive a wedge between them. He talks about the fight between the black and the blue, the day and the night, and I love this line here where he says,
"The red capes are coming."
Of course, referring to Paul Revere, the Redcoats are coming. Pretty awesome line there. So I think I'm going to like this Lex Luthor. We're seeing him here before he shaves his head. So apparently he's some kind of billionaire playboy philanthropist. No, wait, that's Marvel. So apparently he's the CEO of Facebook, and he decides to use his evil genius, and apparently he finds Kryptonite. So either that or he's become a gold prospector.
I'd be better if you shot me, 'cause gold fever's really got me, and I'm hooked as long as I'm alive.
They do show Zod's body where he killed Zod, and I'm assuming that Lex Luthor probably got his hands on the remainder of the ship that was destroyed during Man of Steel, because everything else got sucked into the singularity or black hole or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And so I talked about this in the previous video, in the teaser video, where Superman would not have a weakness if it wasn't for something like kryptonite or Kryptonian atmosphere. And there's no way Batman can just Google that. But I did say that the only possible explanation would be that the remainder of that ship would have to have something on it they could find or research to figure out if Superman has a weakness. It's not clear in the trailer whether Batman finds that weakness or not and uses it. They do show a couple fight scenes between them where Superman looks to have been knocked on his ass a couple times, which again would not really happen unless he has the kryptonite weakness that Batman is exploiting. And we also see Wonder Woman in this episode or this trailer, and she claps her magic bracelets together and does a force bubble thingy, which looks pretty badass. Didn't see Aquaman in this trailer. I imagine it's going to be a little bit smaller of a cameo, probably near the end sometime, as they kind of make up, hug and kiss, and kind of form the Justice League, since this is Dawn of Justice. But this trailer all in all looks badass. It's got me really pumped about it. Before I was a little bit hesitant about it because my thing was that Superman just got here as far as the timeline goes in Man of Steel, and he had just figured out who he was and had his first big fight, and you hadn't even seen him rescue a cat yet. But it looks like they're going to show a little bit of a Batman origin story, probably just some flashbacks, and kind of bring that all together, and they'll probably all hug and kiss and make up and kind of form the pre-Justice League, so to speak, before that actual movie does come out, which is already planned. But it looks like here, again, that Superman's being pulled in multiple directions. You got Lois Lane saying this S on your chest means something, it stands for hope, you know, go out there and do what you got to do, and his mom saying, hey, do what you want to do. If you want to go represent their hope and their savior and all that, do all that, or don't do a damn thing because you don't owe him shit. He's kind of being pulled between motherly advice and then the woman he loves, and of course he's got the Batman thing going on, which again to me would be just a kind of a side story, little, you know, and he's gone. But apparently they do exploit a weakness. Although I do think that somehow Lex Luthor is involved in getting Batman to take some action against Superman, although bringing down a building on your loved ones is probably enough. One thing I'm not sure about though is, I'd also mentioned this in the previous video I did on the teaser, was you see a scene where Batman is fighting a bunch of guys with semi-automatic machine guns, and they have a Superman patch on their uniforms. And Superman's not going to go create some little army of guys with Superman patches on their jackets with submachine guns and that type of thing. So I believe that Lex Luthor will be behind that. I believe he's going to play his friend or whatever, and kind of on one side he's kind of pretending like he worships the ground he walks on. He's a great thing. Of course, to Batman, he's the evil devil that comes from the sky instead of from hell, you know, in that line. And I think that, and also at the same time, he's playing the legal authorities as far as Congress and them against Superman as well, to create this war, because that's what he does best, is think his way through things, since he has no physical skill whatsoever. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I think this turned out really, really well. A lot better than my expectations, and we'll see if the movie follows suit. I will be doing quite a few videos in the next couple of days if I can, because of all the Comic-Con stuff. Again, Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, probably season 6 predictions and that type of thing. So be sure to subscribe to get everything. Feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section below. I love the discussion. I try to reply to everybody if I can. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for everything, you guys. I appreciate the 200 subscribers now. Marching on up to 300. I really appreciate it. I know it's a small channel, but hey, it means a lot to me. I started with 0. This is Chris with Smokescreen. Again, let me know what you think. We'll see you next time.